So far we entered the tasks and also duration of those tasks. Now it's the time to enter the relation between different tasks. For example, if we have a finish to start relationship, start to start relationship, if we have any lag and so forth. The basic one is to develop the finish to start relationship. When we want to make the relationships, the most simple way is to just write down here the ID of the predecessor task. For example, if here we have the predecessor task of 3, we just type here 3 and it generates the relationship automatically in the other side in the Gantt chart for us. The other way that we can do is to select this bar here. Oh, careful not to move it. And then go to the other one, create the link, and it generates the link here. We can have more than one predecessor. We'll just type, for example, the code for those predecessors, and then nine, for example. So far we made these relations to be the finish to start, but we can also modify these relations. For example, for this one, I can double click on this link here and change it from finish to start to other type of relations that we want. For example, finish to finish, and give it a tag, a lag of, let's say, 4 days. So we need to have at least 4 days lag between the finish of this task and finish of the other task. You can see here that we also have this one being written, the finish to finish with task 3, and then we have 4 days of lag. The other way that we can do is just select this task and then up here go to information, and then in the tab of predecessors we can change the type of relationship that we want to have, or we can add new predecessors here. For example, task R&D 1, that's okay. Apparently we already had this link before, so it was my mistake anyway. We have this one here, 5, and let's connect that one to 8 here. 5 is selecting supplier, and I will select this one. 5 and put it to be start to start with lag of 2 days, for example. Then for this one we also want to have the lag of finish to finish with the other one. So with task 10 I want it to have finish to finish relation. Okay, now we generated all we wanted in this project. Now we want to see what are our critical activities, what is our critical path, and so forth. To see that, we just go to this view tab. Oh, sorry, where was that? In the format tab, I'm sorry, and click critical task. And you see that all of these with shaded pink are the critical tasks in this project. We have a relatively limited number of tasks here, so it was quite clear that almost all of them would be critical. Then we need to calculate the start and finish of every single activity, not just the early start and early finish, but also the late start and late finish. To do that, we can go to View tab. Instead of calculating anything, we just go to the table, and instead of entry type of table to show, we choose schedule, and it automatically shows the late finish, late start, also the slack for these activities. It calculates both free slack and total slack for each of them. Here we have the Gantt chart. This is quite a short project, so we can see the Gantt chart in one view, but if we want to, if it's not that compact and we want to see all the project in one view, the simple way is just to click here, choose zoom, and then we can choose, for example, 3 months to come in the view, and we will have a compact view of the project. Apart from that, we can also up here choose different measurement day, different time scale, to change how the Gantt chart will look like for us here. So far, what we assumed was to have a very basic calendar, standard calendar. Every day is a working day, and the working hours is 8 hours per day, starting from 8, having 1 hour lunch, and then finishing at 5. But if by any situation we want to change this sort of setup, the first thing we do, so we can go to options here, and in schedule we can change the working hours, or how many hours we will have in one day, how many hours per week we will have accordingly, and then how many days per month we have. Start of the day, start of the week, or start of the year that we want to have here. Sometimes we want to have the financial year, or sometimes we want to have the normal year here. So we will choose what sort of calendar we want to have in terms of the working days. It's also the case that sometimes we have some days as exception. For example, the day before New Year's Eve might be half-day work, or the day before Australia Day might be a half-day work. For those days, we will need to change the working hours, and to do that, we need to go to Project tab, change working time. In this current situation, what we have is a standard table with no additional holiday in 1 year, except from Saturday and Sunday. But if we want to add some exception days, let's say, for example, I will give exception 1, and this exception 1 starts from, let's say, 27th of August. For that day, we want this day to be a non-working day. So I click detail. And then you see that it is chosen non-working day. Or for another day, I want to have it as a half working day. Let's say in September 23rd, I want it to be a half-day working day. So from 8 to 12, and then in the afternoon we don't have any working time. Similar thing would be also the case when we have